This episode of the Behind Ears podcast is not brought to you by Casey's Corn Dog Nuggets. That's right, Casey's Corn Dog Nuggets, only found at Casey's Corner. They're small, awesome little nuggets of hot dog and breadedness. It is so good. You want to get a whole bunch of them with fries. That's right, Casey's Corn Dog Nuggets. Get them with ketchup, get them with mustard, get them with cheese. Just get them. You can share, although it's going to be really hard to do so. Go ahead and get them as you wait for the fireworks show. Get them as you wait for a parade. Get them as you walk out of the park and enjoy them with a friend. Who am I kidding? Just enjoy them. That's right, Casey's Corn Dog Nuggets, available over at Casey's Corner. The Behind Ears podcast crew would like to thank the following sponsors for their generous support. If you have a little one and you're going to Walt Disney World, you're going to need a stroller. I'll tell you what, kingdomstrollers.com is the place where you want to look into. I'll tell you, I've destroyed my fair share of strollers while at Walt Disney World, and those things are not cheap. But getting something from kingdomstrollers.com, they'll be able to help you pick out the perfect stroller for you. And the nice part is that because they're a Disney preferred provider, they'll be able to drop it off and pick it up right from your Disney resort at no extra charge. So if you don't want to necessarily destroy your stroller in the process and you want to have a great Disney vacation with your little one, contact kingdomstrollers.com and they'll set you right up. That's kingdomstrollers.com.
A new coffee for Expedition Roasters, Curacao and Curacao. This tag says drink me for a Wonderland coffee crumb cake experience. Oh my, I feel so exhilarated. And look at all of these other handcrafted themed coffees and teas they have. It's like falling down a rabbit hole into the most wonderful coffee and tea party. Now you better hurry, you don't want to be late. So head over to expeditionroasters.com to brew a little magic at your home. Behind the Ears podcast listeners, be sure to use code EARS20 for 20% off your next purchase with us. Brew your happy place.
Coming to you live from our studios on the East Coast and in the Midwest, it's the Behind Ears podcast, because everybody does Disney differently.
Oh, howdy, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on another episode of Behind the Ears Podcast. Once again, I am Uncle Danny. That is Mr. Chris. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday on that thing called Facebook and all YouTube. It's Thursday, so that in Chris's world, it's Friday Eve. Some of us have to work Saturday, so it's really not Friday Eve. It's more of a Wednesday. He's muted, so I kind of figured he was muted because I didn't hear any background noise. That's why
I pressed the mute button to turn it off, and I guess it didn't click all the way. But I may have to work a little bit on Saturday too, which is kind of a bummer. But hey, it is what it is.
Right? That's all you can do. Another day, another dollar. But hey, you're not here to listen to us complain about our work schedules. You're here to talk Disney, and that is what we are going to do. Once again, thank you all for joining us here. It's kind of fitting that you started the show out with your fake promo role for Casey's.
Yeah.
It's almost like you did it on purpose.
I did, and there's two reasons. One, for one of the things we're going to talk about here in a second, but also it's kind of funny because I was talking with one of our listeners last night, and she's like, she's never had Casey's corn dog nuggets, possibly mainly because of an allergy. And I said, "Oh, they're just awesome." I even made a fake commercial about it. She's never heard the fake commercial. So I know,
lucky her.
Yeah, lucky her. So now she's heard it. And the funny part is I saw that she jumped on, like she was one of the first people that jumped on the stream tonight. So thank you so much for that. And I'm hoping that she caught it because I think it's kind of funny. I think we're going to have to do some other fake commercials coming up here for the marathon show on May 18th. Yes, shameless plug time. That's going to be one of the things I'm going to probably end up doing this weekend, is having some fun with that. So we'll just have to work with it. But yeah, so here's the deal. And Danny, I don't know how to feel about this. I really don't. And this is like nothing really super serious. And people are going to be like, well, Chris, why are you taking it seriously? I read somewhere that Casey's is no longer going to serve foot-long hot dogs. That if you want a foot-long hot dog, you have to go, especially the foot-long hot dog of the month, you have to go over to Cosmic Rays, which I don't have a problem with, Cosmic Rays. But really, you're taking away the foot-long hot dog from Casey's? Now, some people didn't care for them because they were like, at one time they really had a bad bun on it, so to speak.
Oh, they had such a bad bun. It's literally funny you brought that up, because that was going to be my first comment of, well, it depends on what hot dog they're shipping away. Are they shipping away the original? Because then I'd be like, oh, all right, that kind of stinks. I mean, it's still in the park. But if they're shipping away the new age one, and I say new age, but not current day, because we were there in March and they did go back to a better bun.
Yes.
But for a while, they were using, whether you want to call it a hoagie, a sub, wherever you're from, they were using that roll. You end up throwing away all of the bread because it was just way too much.
Yeah, it was like a hoagie type of bun, or almost an Italian breadish type of bun. It was not, okay, I like on a hot dog, this is going to sound bad. Give me a nice soft bun. So it's got to be good. It's got to be, just slightly smaller than the hot dog. And it has to be fresh. And
that's big, the freshness.
I mean, it has to be nice and soft. I don't want to bite into a hot dog and like feel like it's a grinder, sandwich of sorts. They did change it, which from one trip to another, they did change it. So that was really awesome. But, with that being said, now they're going to have it over at Cosmic Rays. Now, I like Cosmic Rays. I'm a frequent guest of Cosmic Rays. I mean, after all, you get to sit there and have lunch with Sunny Eclipse, and don't forget, Sunny gets paid weekly, very weekly, and very much like we do here at Heroes Podcast Studios. And
checks in the mail. Don't worry about it.
Huh? What?
I said the check's in the mail. Don't worry about it. Yeah. You actually got an uptick in pay this week because we fired Chris.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, don't forget, I did hire him back under.
I'm gonna need that money back then.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it under a probationary basis, so to speak. But I don't know I don't know how you feel. I know there are some people that don't really care for this change because Cosmic Rays is hot dogs. It's hot dogs. It's the corn dog nuggets, the fries. Their fries are great, and so on and so forth. I don't know what do you think about something as simple as this? Because it is Casey's.
My thing is, what are you offering then if you take away your footlong? You have French fries, you've got corn dog nuggets, and you usually have like a brownie as a dessert.
I think they also have
type of chicken.
And the funny part is, it's like I should know this, but I usually
only get the two things. Yeah,
we do get a hot dog. We usually get a footlong hot dog and 2 orders of corn dog nuggets for 4 or 5 of us because we split them all up.
Okay.
It's one of those cases because that hot dog can feed 2 people easily.
The funny thing is they are still having they're not advertising the footlong right now. They're just advertising their standard hot dog. So according to their menu currently, they have, once again, like I said, the brownie, celebration brownie. They have the Casey's all beef classic hot diggity dog and the Casey's classic loaded fries. They have a frozen mint julep. And then for entrees, we have a chili cheese all beef hot dog, plain based loaded slaw dog, all beef hot dog meal, mac and cheese all beef hot dog, plant-based dog, which is a plant-based sausage and a potato bun served with French fries or apple slices. Corn dog nuggets, the mac and cheese fries, chili cheese sauce, chili cheese French fries, baseball brownie, mac and cheese, and then an assortment of beverages. So I'm going to say this. Granted, they only took one item off the menu, but this place literally just serves now normal hot dogs and French fries.
Well, also some of the fancier hot dogs too.
Well, I'm just saying it's normal size. So they are fancy still, but all right, don't shoot the messenger, okay? I'm just gonna say something.
Sure.
How long until Casey's goes out of business and they replace it with a storefront or something along the lines of that? No, on a real note though. If they kept the menu like this, how long can they justify keeping it open before they realize that is prime real estate to honestly, what would they do? They would just add to the store.
Here's my thought process to it. And I will tell you this. I will admit, I just thought of this. What if they are doing this not to downsize the location's, offerings, but to help spread it out among different restaurants that can handle the volume? Because if you're not using the mobile ordering system for Casey's, which by the way is epically awesome,
it is.
You're waiting in line 15, 20 minutes for food easily. And because that place is really small and the place gets really crowded. And let's face it, indoor seating is at an extreme premium. Outdoor seating is less of a premium, but it's always crowded. And,
but it's crowded a lot of times with loiters.
True. I mean, you got a lot of people there to think that it's a great idea to bring their own lunch and, stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those cases.
People could say like, oh, it can never go away. It's always packed. That doesn't justify keeping it open though. I don't realistic. I think right now, if you had asked me yesterday, I would have been like 80-20. 80% it won't close. Today, I'm more in the 50-50 range.
I will say, I don't think you and I totally agree on that particular stance, but you and I have both learned never say never.
I've seen bigger things get taken away. I'll just say that.
I mean, Brian mentions the same thing happened to Pecos Bill, moved burgers to Cosmic Rays, had to revamp the whole menu, jacked up prices. Casey's was the cheapest place to eat. And in a way, I still believe that Casey's still provides a decent value on property. But that footlong hot dog, when you can feed 2 people off of that for $13, was not too bad.
I will say this to Brian's comment, though.
Hmm.
Have you been in Pecos Bill lately?
I have not.
It's a ghost town.
Really?
It fits the theming of Frontierland. I'm waiting for the tumbleweed of jalapenos and pickles to roll on by. I have, and now granted, maybe it could just been the luck of the draw. I'm not a local. I'm not down there all the time. When I tell you though, it was. I mean, any given time we walk by, there are never more than 10 people in there.
I have not been to Pecosville in quite some time. Now, I will say this, that it seems like every time I do go by, it is packed, but it's either A, directly in the middle of lunchtime, or B, like in the middle of like a torrential downpour, because it seems like everybody goes there to buy some food while they're waiting for the storm to go.
Or when Splash Mountain or Big Thunder Mountain break down, the place gets flooded.
Yeah, I'll totally agree.
Yeah, but
And
why go there when you can go right to that little kiosk right behind and get tachos?
what the kiosk behind? Oh, they used to serve like McDonald's fries there and stuff like that.
Well, years ago, that's when it was really good. But now they've got the tachos. I got pooped on a bird in that courtyard over there.
Ew.
Good memories. But like Michelle brings up a great point. She goes, just leave the park and walk over to the Contempo Cafe. And I it's kind of like I call it my little hidden secret, but I don't, because I've talked about it numerous times. Very rarely will you see me eat in a park. And it's not because I don't think the food is good, or it's not the fact that I think the food's overpriced, because I think all Disney food is overpriced compared to what you're getting. But for the best bang for your buck, means quick snacks like a Casey's is great while you're there. But to me, I know a lot of people who make dinner reservations inside the park and will exclude Epcot. But outside of that, I mean, especially Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom, yeah, I would say Magic Kingdom number one. If I'm in Magic Kingdom, I will not be eating dinner in that park. If we're in Epcot, plenty of place to eat. Animal Kingdom, not a lot of places to eat, but you have a couple signatures.
They're better to eat there at Animal Kingdom.
And I think what's rivaling Epcot right now is Hollywood Studios. There is you've got Brown Derby, you've got 50s Primetime, you've got Sci-Fi, you've got a couple restaurants in there and now you're talking about they're going to be putting in the barbecue place for Toy Story. Eventually I guarantee you'll see a Star Wars themed sit down. You're going to start, there's a good selection in Hollywood Studios. I'll say that.
And Brian also is reporting, since he is a local there, and he does feed us a lot of really good information at the parks. Thank you so much for that, Brian. He's also mentioning that the Tortuga Tavern, which is right across from Pirates of the Caribbean, is closed up with walls.
That's where they moved. You used to be able to get a turkey leg there.
I never got a turkey leg there, but I used to be able to get the monster. I used to be able to get a big monster taco salad. And the cool part about it is that I used to love to get that taco salad, and I would actually literally take it on a tray and walk over to Pecos Bill to meet with the rest of my family.
Sandra brings up a great point. She goes, Skipper Cantina Magic Kingdom is great. And that's a restaurant I continuously say, my next trip. And every trip I book it, and then every trip I cancel.
Yeah, I will tell you this. Not that I'm your keeper or anything like that. When you told me that you didn't make it to Skipper Canteen during this last trip in March, I was really disappointed, because I really did want to hear what you had to say. And I wanted to see pictures, especially the before and after pictures of some kind of fish with skeleton after it.
I mean, would you be interested in trying something like that? You personally?
Skipper Canteen?
Like that fish?
Yeah. I'll go ahead, and I would say if I had the opportunity to try something like that, I would. Would you be wanting?
I'm just throwing out the idea that we are in Disney together for 3 full days. We're not planning on Magic Kingdom.
I know,
but for the right price, maybe it would be. For the right price, I'll go over there.
Well, it's something I think to really take into consideration. I mean, we could do that, and you know what? Actually, since we are kind of doing that trip specifically with the intent of eating, the fact of the matter is that if everything goes the way that you and I want it to go, we could go there that Sunday evening that we arrive.
I was going to say it's got to be that first night, because there's just too much food at Epcot, and we're going to be eating for 2 days straight. And then that Thursday, we've got plans together outside of I didn't want to announce that yet because we haven't talked to other people, but we've got plans outside of Disney.
Yeah. And the other part, Gosh, here's the funny part, Danny.
Fish challenge, yes, Brandy. Fish challenge.
Fish challenge. Where?
Who can eat the fish without eating any bones? That's the question.
Well, the funny part is that Brian said they overcooked the whole fish at Skipper, get it elsewhere. So we may have to take that into consideration, but we'll have to work with that idea. Sandra also says, "Not me. I've seen it in his eyes." Yes, it's exactly one of the reasons why
I want to eat them. They're probably crunchy.
Go.
Well, you don't want a soft eyeball. That's just disgusting.
No, I don't want an eyeball at all. Jeez. God.
Have you ever had cow's tongue?
Not that I could actually recall, but
What about pig's feet?
My dad used to eat pickled pig's
I used to eat pig's feet all the time. It was great as a kid until one day I went to go bite into it, and you could feel like when you look at your knuckles, you see the lines.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try biting into that one day, and you could feel it. And I was like, nope, can't do this anymore. So I guess I'm gonna gross everybody out, but hey, there's delicacies out there, man.
I mean, because I do want to try it. I mean, here's this. I have a real dilemma. In the past 6 weeks, I've managed to lose 9 pounds.
Nice.
There you go. And the fact of the matter
is, get it all back.
I got to be careful because I am. Don't forget, I am going back in July.
Yeah,
as a solo trip, and that trip's not even been planned yet. But it's the goal. And the thing is, I don't have anything booked for it, and I probably won't be able to do it. But that was the goal. In fact, the thing is that it's probably going to take the precedent. Try it again. The precedence is going to be the October trip. Or no, we talked about October, and I still think it's October. No, we have the trip booked already for September for me and you. Gosh, I can't get my dates right. I hope we actually show up and the hotel is actually there.
Me too.
Because that's what I have booked right now, and I've paid for it already. Is our room for September, right after the Indie Disney meet at the end of September. I was going to
put a deposit down for that, though, right?
Yeah, but it was one full night worth of room. So
is that how they did it? Okay.
Yeah. But July is a time that I was thinking of going on by myself. Okay. But I don't think that's going to actually happen because it's I keep on thinking that I'm going to go, but then I have to pay for September. I have to pay for September because not only that, but we're also going to the Indie Disney meet. So that's kind of interesting. We'll have to figure that out. But we know right now that's the plan. So we could do that. And all I got to say is that I guess that means that I have between now and September to lose a crap load of weight only for it to gain some of it back. I may have to run a 5K or something while I'm out there every day just so I can, keep some of it off. I do have to put this out there. Claudia says cow tongue street tacos are amazing.
Sounds good.
And Alex says, what about cow liver?
Cow liver's good.
No.
Duck is delicious.
I like duck.
We had duck for I think Easter.
Yeah. And Brian says July is hot. You'll not want sweets and be fine. Yeah, I know that July is definitely hot. I completely agree with that, and it does change the way that you eat. But chances are, July is not going to happen. As I said, I don't have anything planned for it. Lamb fries. John says, look it up.
I've never heard lamb fries. That sounds
okay. Delicious. We need to stop. We need to stop this because I've lost 9 pounds.
You're gonna gain it back just listening to all this.
I know. The body is going to go into a kind of a frenzy. But speaking of other food, now granted, this is really not intended to be a food episode. However, we did get a message from one of our administrators over at the WDW community page, and she says the storybook dining at the Artist Point is hands down my favorite character meal. 1 credit, and it was a lot better than their recent experience yesterday at Be Our Guest. Now, I never had a chance to go to Artist Point before, and I was always wanting to go. But I saw some pictures that she sent, and the character interaction with her son looked absolutely adorable. So, well, I think that's kind of interesting. I'm really glad to hear that people are liking the change at Artist Palette.
Not to change the subject, but when are we going to the 25th of September? Is that what? No, that's Saturday, right?
22nd through 22nd through the 26th. Let me just look it up really quick. Yes, we were actually planning on leaving the Indianapolis area directly after the Indie Disney meet on the 26th, and you and I will go our separate ways. Probably the evening of the 26th, Thursday.
Oh, so we're arriving what day though?
Sunday. That's our plan.
No, what's the date?
Oh,
Is that Sunday?
That's Thursday, September 22nd.
Okay, so Thursday.
Sunday,
Oh.
September 22nd.
All right, so we won't be there for the 22nd, so we're gonna miss Starship featuring Mickey Thomas.
It depends on whenever we can get our first flight out.
Okay. During the time we are there, we will be able to see Postmodern Jukebox and Blue October.
Very cool.
Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Very cool.
I was kind of hoping for Billy Ocean, but
oh man, I like
wish.
Billy Ocean. I like Billy Ocean.
Or Boys to Men, or the Hooters.
The Hooters, yes. Boys to Men, I could.
The Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Anyway, back to what you're saying. Or Plain White Tees. I like them. All right. Anyway, so character dinner, she said was the best meal, but to be fair, she compared it to Be Our Guest.
Yes, and we all know that Be Our Guest is a love it or hate it restaurant, in my opinion. I've never heard anybody said, "Oh, it was okay. I'll go back maybe." It's either, "Yes, I absolutely love it. I'll go back all the time," to, "Oh my gosh, I can't get a reservation for it," to, "No way. That was horrible. I didn't like it. I walked out hungry," something like that.
I can't wait to talk to her to find out what exactly made it as fascinating that she would claim that, because I want to know. All right, so it beats Be Our Guest. Wonderful. A lot of things beat Be Our Guest, but where does it stack up with Ohana, with Stitch? Where does it stack up with Chef Mickey at the Contemporary? Where does it stack up with the Mad Tea Party and Mary Poppins and Winnie the Pooh and gang at 1900 Park Fair at the Grand Floridian? Those are the heavy hitters of the signature morning dining spots, and we're claiming that this one's now fantastic. But what do we? Because if you compare it to, even Artist Point, or no, where did we eat? Where did we have the safari?
You're thinking
Animal what?
You're thinking Tusker House.
The Tusker House. That was fantastic. But I don't know if the breakfast would have been worth it. We got the brunch, and that was absolutely fantastic. So that's why I'm curious to see where she rates it with the heavy hitters, because beating Be Our Guest to me, slow golf clap for you, but it was the round of applause. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know that lately people have said, and this has not been just sporadic. People have said that dinner at Ohana lately has been underwhelming. And some people have said that it's been great, but I have not been there in probably 4 years. And last time I went, it was really, really good, but it wasn't like spectacular. Obviously, I haven't been back in 4 years, but it's also quite expensive. I have not gone there for breakfast because, to me, if I'm going to go to a character meal, I'm going to spend that kind of money. I'm going to spend a little bit more and go for dinner, because otherwise you're getting the same, bacon, egg, sausage, fruit, Mickey waffles, a carving station, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tusker House, granted, it was good. The breakfast part of it was all that and more. And then, of course, when they switched it over to lunch, we got to eat some of the lunch part too. We just rolled out of there, everybody. Let me just tell you, Danny and I are just like, roll us out. It's like, didn't we have to go on safari right after that?
Yeah, that was terrible. I just felt those pickles bouncing around. I ate like 2 plates full of pickles.
That was just a bad experience. But after the fact, it wasn't a bad Tusker House experience. It was a good Tusker House experience. And yeah, we also got the package with Rivers of Light as well. Brian saying that Ohana food is still great. They rush you out in under 60 minutes, We had food before I could tell server my allergies. Oh, see, that's not cool. I mean, I'm sure it got it taken care of, but that's not cool. Carol was saying Stitch was awesome for breakfast there. And, the thing is like even Chef Mickey's, I like to go for dinner at Chef Mickey's because I think their evening selection of food is really, really good. Like they used to have like some kind of a broil of fish. I can't remember if it was, I can't remember if it was, like a salmon or something, but it was really, really good, really flavorful. So I try to go, if I'm going to spend a few extra bucks, I might as well go get dinner and really enjoy it. Not to mention you liked like 1900 Park Fair.
Yeah, I think their food was fantastic.
Yeah. So, I mean, so when it comes down to comparing some of these things, I can't wait till she comes back and tells us a little bit more about her comparisons. And yeah, like Sandra did the same thing. Tusker House, we made reservations, had breakfast and lunch in the same sitting. That is exactly what Danny and I did. We actually did like it was either a 10:30 or 10:45 seating. And around 11 o'clock, they start bringing out lunch stuff. And so we went in, got our fill of breakfast items. We waited a little bit. I had a curry chicken that was just fantastic. So I really enjoyed that. So we'll have to see. So people are asking about what happened to Mickey's Backyard Barbecue at Wilderness Lodge. It's totally gone. Yeah, not too long ago, they said that they were going to actually get rid of it. And I'm not 100% sure what they're doing. They may be like prepping for some different things in regards to the new DVC resort that's going to be there. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't, that's one story I haven't really followed through. So we'll have to see. But the thing is, it's like, maybe I haven't seen where it was. Brian says it's soon to be the Reflections, which I believe that is the case. What I just mentioned. I always thought it was near where what's it called? Hoop-de-doo, comes into play. I could be wrong on that. Again, I always wanted to go to Mickey's Backyard Barbecue. I never wanted to go when it was hotter than the hinges of Hades because I don't believe in sweating in my food. So that that was always the draw away from it, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's kind of interesting to see some of the different changes that are going on. Yeah.
Speaking of some of the changes coming up, the little somewhat on topic but off a topic at the same time. One of the longest running restaurants in Disney is finding a new home. It's been rumored for the last couple of years now, but it has been the workers have been notified that Bongo's, the Cuban restaurant on the west side of downtown Disney Springs, is going away. And I thought, it's owned by who is it? Emilio
and Gloria Estefan,
yeah. There was rumors years ago that it was going to be gone, and it kind of just revitalized itself, and it was still there. And now they're talking about they're moving it to Margaritaville.
Really?
The new Margaritaville that just opened up.
I knew they were talking about it going away.
Yeah. Now they're talking about they have someone to fill that spot, but they have not announced who it is.
Now, the thing of it is, I've never been to Bongo's in the restaurant. However,
beautiful inside.
Really? Okay.
Beautiful.
So the interesting part to it is my daughter, during the last time she was there, she got, and she treated me to some of this. It was some kind of a almost like a Cuban hot pocket of some sort. I can't remember what it was called.
A Cuban hot pocket.
That's what I call it. It was a dough with meat in it, and it was deep fried, and it was like heaven in your hand, so to speak. And it was like so good. I was like, man, that's good. She's like, do you want another one? I'm like, oh yes, please. And so, I mean, it's just one of those things where we really enjoyed it just from a casual perspective, but we never went in. Now I'm going to kind of regret not going, but then again, my daughter and I are the only ones that would actually really like the food there. I don't think that my my son or my wife would really be super interested. And it was not an empanada, because I know what empanadas are, but it
I
wasn't.
figured I wasn't gonna say it because I figured you knew what it was.
Yeah, I mean, and I got people saying, "Hey, it's an empanada." It wasn't called an empanada, so maybe it's something very similar to that. But
You
no,
know something I had stumbled across yesterday and I wanted to talk about it. Did you happen to hear about this Lion King dining experience that was coming to Jico? Jico, that's how you say it, Jico, right?
yeah,
Jico.
I heard about it, and I just started looking into it, but I didn't hear too much of the details. You have some details?
I do, and I'll tell you what.
And
It's coming over to the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
yeah,
This might be something that we might want. I mean, Lindsay's gonna kill me to meet all these restaurants, but this might be something to really look into it. So it's a limited time Lion King dining experience. It will
right.
begin June 30th with does not show a date for ending, but it's $65 per person plus tax gratuity. So on the higher end, but nothing out of this world expensive.
But that's not expensive for Chico.
No, and it's not expensive for a 3-course dinner either.
Right.
Along with, musical people and live, all live musicians. I don't want to call them musical people. You could start your meal off with a I just can't wait to be king starter, which is an awesome sounding dish. It's a dish featuring young Cedar Creek clam malata, so basically a steamed clam, potatoes, pomegranate, and a bone marrow fish, which it looks so good. But if you've never had bone marrow, you cannot say that bone marrow is delicious. Next, you have the choice from 2 entrees: a bone-in ribeye, or a lobster with red shrimp, squid, mussels, and rice.
I'd do that.
See, and I would do the bone-in ribeye, so this could be good. And then to finish, you have the dessert that features caramelized orange and chocolate cake. And then finally, you get some candy and teas to complete the experience. Wine pairings are available for additional cost.
I see. My wife would go for the steak. I would go for the seafood. She wouldn't eat the clams. The dessert sounds delicious. So
I don't know about the dessert though.
I think it would have a very interesting flavor to it,
because they had something very similar to it at the Brown Derby when we were last there, and it was just okay.
Okay. Well, I know Jico is. I mean, Jico is supposed to be, really a nice place, and I know that it's right across from Boma, and it's very cool looking. I've always wanted to go there. My wife and I have always dabbled with the idea, kind of like you and Skipper Canteen. It's kind of like, we want to go there, want to go there. Let's go there. We're going to have a chance to go there. No, we're not going to go there right now. And it's the one that keeps getting away from us.
Yeah, and it's never really been on my radar. But moving gears here as we downshift, we were just saying about how Jico, the $65 meal, was not that expensive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw something at you that I think is way too expensive. Cinderella's Royal Table is introducing a new signature celebration package starting in August. $199 plus tax and gratuity for adults, $170 for children. The package includes a character dining experience in the castle, reserved fireworks viewing in the West Plaza Garden, which we know are garbage seats, and an after fireworks dessert party. So, okay, you're getting the dessert party thrown in with your meal. So, maybe. During the event, additional extras will be included: a meet and greet with Cinderella and Prince Charming upon arrival at the restaurant, and a complimentary sparkling wine or specialty beverage, and a box of truffles. That is all they're saying about it. That's a lot of money for no details.
Now, say what you will about some of these things. Think about this for a minute. How much different is the fireworks viewing area? It's like just the mirror opposite side of Main Street for viewing. That's the west side. And we know the dessert party is good if you like dessert party. But the thing is, it would be done after the actual fireworks. So if you're there with little kids.
How do you know that?
What?
How do you know the dessert party's not before like we did?
It just said, you just said it was after the fireworks.
Oh, I thought it was said after dinner.
Oh, I thought you said after.
I'm out of the menu now, but you could be right.
So the fact of the matter is that it's just kind of one of those. It's kind of one of those ideas where, first off, after fireworks, if you've got little kids that are going to be halfway collapsed, you're going to lose value on that one. So it would be good for those that are adults looking for something a little bit special, with maybe a slightly older kids or something like that you still want to do a dessert type of experience. Also, the nice part is that, you can have that dining experience sometime during the day, early in the evening, and have that dessert being your way to end the night. So you could enjoy that, but if you price the two separately, you're going to probably get a better value, even though you might not get like the box of truffles and stuff like that. So, it's kind of interesting because it's like it's almost like they're doing the fireworks show in two shifts, or not fireworks, the dessert party in two shifts. So, and I agree. All the character meet and greets are expensive, but
that's over the top. $200, say what you want, but you're talking about for a couple $400 before tax and gratuity.
Mm-hmm.
I can go to Cali and probably get a better meal. Not saying that Cinderella's Castle doesn't have a good meal, because it did, but I can get a better meal, in my opinion, with liquor and not spend that. Yeah,
and of course, Brian is also saying that you can do you can actually buy the afterworks, the after fireworks party now. And because it looks like they just added it. And if that's cool.
I we went to some heavy hitting restaurants last time we were there. And even I've been to a couple in prior trips where I did not spend $400. My biggest tab in Disney ever. And that was for one night, for an entire night. I paid like $700 before taxes. For one tab.
You and one other person?
Nah, well, technically it was four of us.
My highest tab was $350 for two of us. And that was at Cali Grill, surprise, surprise. But
we spent $500 just in, not jelly rolls, the dance hall. But that was just liquor.
I was gonna say, I knew that you
that was just like that was a $500 tab that night.
Everybody, if you ever see Danny go live from the dance hall, just go ahead and click away. Don't encourage him to keep streaming live from the dance hall. Trust me, it is not his best day.
So that was bad that night. That was Halloween. You gotta have fun.
I've
been hearing that Cali is. I keep hearing that Cali Grill is worth it though.
You really
have another restaurant. I can never get an early reservation. I'm sorry, I'm not eating dinner at 9:30 at night if I don't have to.
No, I get it. I totally get it. Gosh, and I keep saying, hey, you know what? Here's the thing. You know what would be cool? You and I just to go get drinks at Cali Grill. Because you could do that. You could just go up to the bar.
Oh, you can. You can just walk right up there?
I'm pretty sure. And I have done it after the fact. And so I think we ought to. One time the bartender made me this it's
a spider crawling on my wall.
It was a spiked raspberry lemonade, and it was like so delicious.
Oh,
it was
God, he jumps. Sorry, I got a spider that's jumping all over the place here.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are completely live, and we're learning more and more about Danny's new studio.
I'm sorry, when that spider jumps off the wall at you, you have to announce these things. He's dead now.
We're gonna get hate mail now. You know that.
PETA.
Yeah.
Let them live.
By the way,
Boathouse still my favorite restaurant also, and Boathouse still by far is the best restaurant I've ever been to at Disney.
I can't wait to try it. I really do want to try it. And so you're saying the Boathouse really lived up to the hype.
Oh, I loved everything about the Boathouse, and that's like my second time there. Much different experiences both times, both fantastic. I've been there with a couple people where we had a lot of drinks and we had a lot of fun. And then I went there on a date night, and that was, a world of its own, but was completely different. But oh man, Boathouse. Oh no, Disney Springs Boathouse. Sorry, I should probably emphasize that.
Oh, because Hollywood students, they don't call that the Boathouse. To me, it's just the boat.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sounds like Brandon is also. Oops, wrong comment. Wrong. There we go. Oh,
nope, wrong one.
Wrong one again. They keep moving at me because we keep getting too many comments. Brandon saying it's so good. I like how you do that. So that sounds. See, here we go. This is from what I was trying to not mention Jessica's name just for sake of privacy, but she's like, I'm telling you, Arnold's Point tonight was amazing. So yeah, I can see that.
That was so good. We really ate like madmen at Boathouse. Still, I mean, like, and everybody's got their own thing, I mean, like, I still think arguably the best two places to get drinks in Disney Springs is either the Hangar or the Edison. But I still think for value, nothing beats the Polite Pig for what you can get that butcher block for.
Dude, I saw some of the pictures lately of the Polite Pig, and I'm just like, between that and Homecoming, I think both of them just look really super good. You realize we're gonna have to like just go there and get something and just see if we can get it to go, just to walk around Disney Springs at different things and eat barbecue.
Barbecue's good.
I know. That's just one of those things I'm thinking about, that sort of speak. So that's just me. I don't know about you.
But I mean, I'm trying to how to say it politically, but they just keep slapping a new dress on all these restaurants inside Disney, but nothing to me there's not enough value for me to eat inside of the parks when you have all of these other places you could be going to, inside downtown Disney. Right. I know, see, Brandy even mentions it, Homecoming. Homecoming was a great restaurant. Great.
Would you say Homecoming, or excuse me, Polite Pig over Homecoming?
Very different experiences, because Homecoming, you could make a nice sit down meal with your family, relax. You could spend an hour and a half in there easily. There's no reason to spend an hour and a half at Polite Pig. It's not. It's the food's brought out to you pretty quickly.
So it's more of a quick service experience in the sense.
Yeah, you can make it a dinner place. You could definitely eat dinner there, but you don't need significant time. You know what I mean? You could be in and out, eat full, happy, 40 minutes. Meanwhile, when you're at a real sit down restaurant, it's, the food's not, I don't want to call it pre-made at Polite Pig, but they could put it out on a quicker base than you can, a Homecoming place.
Right. Even then, Kathleen says Homecoming, in her opinion, is better than Polite Pig.
Yeah, I think two different beasts, but I see Rudy saying he found Polite to be a little salty, pretty much like his personality. He's always salty. So maybe you should fit in great. Maybe that's why you don't grow hair on your head. Just too much salt, just dried up all the hair on the top of your head. I hate you.
And just think, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking with Rudy of the
Taking that night off.
Rudy from Crazy for Gypsy podcast during our last and final hour of the marathon show on May 18th. Why? Because by then Danny and I would have been talking for 11 hours, and everything is going to go out the window during that last hour. I guarantee you it'll be more PG-13 than anything else, just because we're all going to be pretty salty. But that's beside the point. So
Kathleen. Listen, I've already booted one person out of this business on Tuesday. Do not make me boot out my first fan. Let's start with this, okay? First of all, Cuban food is delicious. I don't think their food was that good, but Cuban food is delicious. Second, I agree. Chicago has some solid food. There should be something for Chicago. Maybe you guys do have the best hot dogs. Maybe you have the best beef. I don't know. But your pizza is not the best. Number 2. Hashtag number 2. I'm done.
Okay. Kathleen, let me tell you something. As a fellow Chicagoan, one of these days, we ought to get a Chicago-based meetup going, and we're going to get some real serious Chicago pizza, and we're going to live stream it directly to Danny's phone. It's as simple as that. We'll have to figure that out. And yes, we do have the best hot dogs. We have the best beef. And granted, I do have solid respect for good, solid New York style pizza. I really do. There is a place in the world for that pie.
How dare you? First of all, Enrique. I'm going to purposely say your name wrong. I'm going to take that top fan label right off you. Domino's? It's not even the best chain. I mean, if you're going to have crappy chain pizza, at least have Little Caesars. Pizza. Secondly, Kathleen, cardboard with ketchup on it? Stop it. You wouldn't even understand.
Oh,
this? You don't have enough class to eat this New York style pizza.
And by the way, I have to say this, Kathleen, I have one of those less than a mile from my house, and it is awesome. By the way, it's not necessarily Chicago style pizza, but it is darn good pizza. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and another thing about the dogs, you haven't lived until you have had
wrong one.
A dirty water dog from the city. Like the water that hasn't been changed in 3 years. It's kind of questionable. They got like a D- rating on the side of their like hot dog cart. You have not lived until you've gambled with your life on if that hot dog is going to kill you or not. Just saying.
I'm going to give a shout out to Stan really quick. He's one of the hosts over at the Grand Circle Tour podcast. Here's the cool part. When he was in Chicago for Star Wars Celebration, first off, it was great meeting him. And I saw what he was doing for different dinners, and he went to Portillo's twice. And I thought that was pretty funny. A little over a week ago, I went to Portillo's myself, and I got like the beef and sausage combo. I mean, seriously, take a great sausage, throw some, sliced roast beef in there on a hot sandwich, dip that thing in the juice. Oi, that is some good stuff. Yeah, we need to change the topic. We really need to change the topic.
The Chicago deep dish pizza, it looks good, but it literally looks like 9 layers of dough with a little bit of gravy on top.
No.
It looks so like dense and airy all at the same time.
No. It's dense. Let's just put it that way. There was a time that I can only eat one piece of Gino's East pizza.
Well, because it's like a glorified Sicilian, right?
What do you refer to as a Sicilian?
Basically, I think what you guys refer to as Chicago deep dish pizza.
I mean, it's got a really thick crust to it, and I like the crust that is made out of cornmeal. So it's not a flour crust; it's a cornmeal crust, and then you have like a whole bunch of cheese, a bunch of sauce, and then when you ask for sausage, you got to ask for the sausage patty, which is one big gigantic piece of sausage on top, and then they put sauce on top and cheese on top. I mean, but it's a big patty. Oi, okay.
Yeah, definitely soggy.
Yeah,
it's a red swimming pool for mice. That's what your pizza got described as.
Where is it? Red. There you go. Oh man, it's kind of interesting because, well, Danny. So let me ask you a question. Let's go off. Let's go off record here not off record, but let's just go off topic a little bit. What would you probably say would be a restaurant that you've been to at Disney
Corley.
What?
They're gonna say that I didn't like.
No, I was gonna say that you didn't know if you were gonna like, and yet really became much more surprising that you liked it. I mean, I don't know if you consider Boathouse in that, because I know you were skeptical about the Boathouse.
Yeah, because that looked a little overpriced, and I don't know how fresh their fish is. I get real like skeptical. Like it's weird. Some days I'm like, clams from a 7-Eleven? Sure, let's try them. And other days I'm like, I don't know if your seafood is fresh. Oof, that's a tough one. You know what? No, you know what? Something on my recent trip, the Brown Derby.
Really? You didn't
I was
think
very skeptical when I looked at their menu. I was like, okay, it's got some hitters. I was like, I'll indulge in it. I think we overpaid a tad because we did the seating with it for Phantasmic, but I was pleasantly surprised. I knew the decor was going to be beautiful, and it was. The booth was a little small, but just sticking strictly to the food. No, I would say I was pleasantly surprised with how good the food was.
I really enjoyed the Brown Derby, and I know it sounds weird. I kept on hearing about this Cobb salad,
which I did not like.
See, I really fell in love with it. I love a good Cobb salad, and I mean, I'll go to Red Robin. I'll get the Avo Cobb O salad type of thing, just as a reference. But I thought it was really super, super good. I really liked it. But I would probably say, as for a place that I was surprised that I actually liked, and this is good, I think you may find it surprising. I actually liked Sci-Fi.
Oh, okay. I thought it was pretty basic food. I thought it was like an Applebee's.
Well, there is some basic food, I will agree, but when I went, they had a steak. It was really pretty good.
Okay.
And the reason why I say surprisingly is because someone said the food is meh, but the desserts were wow. Well, I found the food to be really good, and of course the desserts were wow.
Yeah.
So that was a big surprise for me.
And it's all about expectations, though, because when you kept saying Cobb salad, in the back of my mind, I mixed up what a Cobb salad was. So when I ordered a Cobb salad, I was expecting a wedge.
Oh.
So it comes out to me, and I looked down, I was like, this is not what I ordered. So I Googled Cobb salad. I was like, oh, yeah, it is. I completely mixed. So it's basically like the Mary Poppins scenario with me all over again. I walked in thinking one thing, got something else, and it was good, but I was like, nope, not what I thought it was going to be.
Oops.
Yeah.
By the way,
we all went to the Sci-Fi. Brian from Orlando 360 was with us. I had the buffalo wings, the boneless wings. We sat at that back picnic table, and I just thought it was a glorified Applebee's. Nothing bad, nothing good. I mean, obviously for what we got, I thought we overpaid, but at the same time, was nothing to freak out about. ABC, Brian brings up a good one right there. Orlando theme park again. I enjoyed the ABC commissary. I heard there are renovations right now.
There are renovations right now. I really am going to want to try it after the fact. I always liked it. I always thought it was really difficult to try to find a place to sit. And so that was always a difficult thing to do. Although they are trying to throttle it back a little bit so that they have enough people that can actually sit down there. I actually liked it. I really did. So yeah, it was one of those things. But at the same time, I saw someone, where was it?
You're getting killed for this steak at the Sci-Fi right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, George is mentioning, steak at Sci-Fi, it's seriously. I will admit, I didn't want a burger. I didn't want a sandwich. So I tried the steak, and I did think that time it was good. And granted, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done that. But at the same time, I did think it was good. Now, I will tell you this right now. Sci-Fi, it is due for a revisit by Mr. Chris. It is simple as that. It is due for a revisit. In fact,
what? Funny you say that, because 50s prime time, I feel like, needs to be revisited by me. It's been about 6-7 years now.
And I would have to say that it's been over 10 years since I've been there, and it's time for that. You know what? Also, really seriously, I went here to this place during one of my very first trips, and I haven't been back since. Not for any other reason, just there were so many other good places to eat. Mama Melrose's. I want to go back to Mama Melrose's. So,
I want to touch on something over on YouTube. Stan from the Grand Circle podcast commented here a few minutes ago. He said, Danny, it's Walt Disney World. It doesn't matter where you eat. It's not worth what you pay for what you compared to in the real world. See, I disagree with that because I'm one of the way I look at when it comes to money is if the food, I'll never complain about food prices if the food is worth it. You have never once heard me complain about Boathouse and the price. I mean, we paid $30 some odd for 6 oysters. In real life, you're right. It is expensive. In reality, they were good, so I didn't complain about it. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
If it's worth it, the value's there. I don't care about if the food's good, I don't care what it costs me. But it's a difference when the food is meh and I overpaid for it. There's the difference.
Yeah, the thing of it is that I think you and I both know we expect prices to be elevated at Walt Disney World. And you and I both budget for it. We have an idea of what we're going to spend on it. And I have to agree. We know it's going to be expensive, but if I'm enjoying it, if I walk out of there happy, I'm going to be, happy with what I pay for. I mean, I'll admit $350 for dinner for 2 people is
a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
If it's worth it, you're not going to get that ambiance and that service for much less in the real world.
Right. And at the same time, we had an awesome time. And if you can consider your dining experiences to be partially entertainment, then I think it would work out great. I just
I think Hoop-Dee-Doo is getting overpriced.
I will admit, I think Hoop-Dee-Doo is quite pricey, but you do get a nice show with it as well. Not just,
But when it was like in the mid 60s, low 70s for the floor seats, I was like, okay, that's, that was still a little on the higher end, but because we were getting the show and unlimited everything, I agree. I was like, okay, I can swing that, because it is a glorified buffet with a show. But I was like, okay, this is going to tack on the Disney price. I was fine with that. But now when you're talking about 90 plus, some days over $100 for a floor seat, that's where I'm like, no, the food's not the value there.
Isn't that also including gratuity too?
Yeah. Now, Kathleen says something about ambiance is lacking at Disney. I think ambiance is lacking if you think it's lacking. I mean, that's very subject to the person because I would not say, and I hate to keep harping on it, I would not say the Boathouse was lacking ambience. I would not say that Geyser Point over at Wilderness Lodge, even though it was a sit-down place, it was more of like a bar, food outside area. That was not missing. That was not lacking in Disney. So I think it depends on what you value the ambiance to be. I can't say the ambiance is lacking at Cali Grill. Maybe you can, I guess.
The thing of it is that I walk into Cali Grill and with the semi-open kitchen, the wide expansive view from the top of the Contemporary, it's a very much an upscale dining establishment. So I think it's great. I love it. And at the same time though, like take the Brown Derby. I thought the ambiance,
very nice. A little dark, but very nice.
A little dark. It's also but you also have to enjoy it for what it was. They're trying to reestablish a type of time period. Yeah. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes it's hard to do.
Like, you can't tell me whether you like the food or not. You can't tell me the ambiance at 50's prime time is not on point for what it's supposed to be.
Well, yeah, but here's also the thing, and I think I'm getting where I think I'm getting where Kathleen.
She's more talking about Cinderella's royal table.
Well,
That's
she
what
is, but also she's like, it's not worth $60 for breakfast, and I can't disagree that breakfast anywhere is not worth $60.
no.
No, it's not. I totally I totally get it, and many different character meals, it's done like a machine. You know, there is a kind of a process that they go through, and they want you in and out in less than an hour. And sometimes people feel rushed that way. I don't let them push me out, so to speak. A good server will not let you feel like you're being pushed. How's that? Let me go ahead and put that there. Because there have been times I've been at Chef Mickey's for an hour and 15 minutes or something like that because we were enjoying ourselves, and our server did not bother us one bit.
All
and
right,
then,
I'm going to give you a couple places. Whether you've eaten there or not doesn't matter, but I know you've walked into them.
okay.
So we'll hypothetically play this game. We're going to base everything that it's $60 a person. We'll call everything we're going to do is based on 2 people for $120. Okay.
Okay.
Hanger bar, is it worth $120?
No.
You don't think the ambiance by itself could be worth $120? Not on the outside, the inside.
Oh, like, I know, are we comparing like going in there for some dinner and some drinks? It's going to cost us $120.
You walk out of there and you spent $120 after tax, gratuity. Doesn't matter what you bought. Doesn't matter what you ate. I don't care about the drinks. I don't care about the food. I'm talking strictly walking into the Hanger bar is worth $120.
Had to define the rules there for a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes.
Me as well.
I think we had some good times there, even like with me, you, Lindsay, Larry. We had a wonderful time there.
That was well over $100 bill.
Yeah.
The Edison.
Not been, but from everything I've seen, I can think that you can easily drop a $120 there and have a good time, especially with the music in the background and stuff like that.
Cali Grill.
Man, I wish I could spend $120 with 2 people, and I would do it every day if I could do it if I was able to go to Cali Grill for $120 for 2 people, I'd be there breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay, Kathleen says the Irish bar. I think so. You get an outside table there.
Raglan Road.
Yeah, with if there's a band playing, absolutely.
I would say I would have to quantify that. I would have to be some really good live music, and I'm there for a while.
Okay. What about what is that? Not the Boathouse. The Yachtsman.
Yeah, I have been there. I have spent well more than 120 for 2 of us, and I feel bougie when I'm in there. I really do. The service was wonderful. The food is fantastic. All they want you to do is have the best experience possible there. Yes.
Now I've agreed with you on everything except that last one.
What?
I think the food by far is worth $120.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the ambiance is not. I didn't think it was that grand. I didn't get that. The Hanger bar is not grand, but there's a lot going on in the Hanger bar. They're ringing the bell every time people get a monkey drink. There's things all over. It's supposed to be Indiana Jones. Everything you look at is immersive. The Edison, everything you look at is immersive. You walk in there and it's a steakhouse.
Well, I will grant you, I think your viewpoint on that is accurate. I don't think that there's anything wrong with your thought process on that. When we ate there, I'll just take 2 people, my wife and I. We kind of sat in like an small alcove area overlooking the pool and stuff like that. And for us, that just felt very luxurious to us. And we didn't really have to see everything. There was really not a lot of people there at that time because it was kind of a late dinner. We really super enjoyed ourselves. And so it wasn't necessarily about the ambiance in the building or in the dining room itself. It was just the overall view and everything that we experienced. I will say that was worth it. So I'll give you that.
I'll give you another one. Compass and Ale.
Not been, so I don't have a point of reference, unfortunately.
Food, 100%. Ambiance, no. Was it a very nice decorated restaurant? Absolutely. Was the backdrop great and the location fantastic? Sure. But the food is what made it worth it. But the ambiance, I felt it was lacking.
Sure.
But see, yeah, so it really depends on what you value in your ambiance. Do you want a view? Do you want theming? It depends on the person. So, just like Kathleen could have, I keep using her because me and her are going back and forth with this. It's everybody's going to have their own taste,
Sure.
and that's the thing is like why we try not to be like, oh, it was terrible. We always try to say like, hey, in our opinion, we didn't like it, or in our opinion, we did enjoy it. Because everybody's gonna think whether the food was great, the food was bad, the ambiance was great, the ambiance was bad. I just feel like the broad pain stroke of saying Disney is lacking ambiance, I would almost flip that and say Disney has a lot of ambiance, but doesn't have enough food to go with the ambiance.
I guess it kind of depends on a point of comparison, because around here, if I try to go get a good high quality steak, the ambiance is absolute crap. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. There's a couple really awesome steakhouses here where I live, but you go for the food, you don't go for anything else because it's not really all that. At least at Disney, I'm getting great food and I like the ambiance. So I do feel, here's the thing. Value comes in the eye of the beholder. If you feel that there is a value in something, you enjoy the experience, you enjoy what you consume, and you don't mind what you pay for it. If you don't feel like there's a value, like if you feel like serving sizes suck, you walk out of a place hungry, things like that, you're not going to perceive it to have good of anything.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying every restaurant that you mentioned that I said, yeah, I think it's worth it. I am literally not saying that because it's Disney. I'm saying that because of the experiences I had. There's a reason why you and I go to the Hangar Bar. We like the ambiance. The service is really good. The drink,
and it has memories there.
It has memories there.
Because I think their food was nothing to talk about.
No, but I mean, at least some of their shareables were actually really pretty good.
The pretzel was actually surprisingly good, but the first time me and you went there, the nachos were horrendous.
Yeah. I mean, people have to understand a little bit of history for that. Danny and I had our first business meeting there. We met one of our first sponsors there. We really had a super time there. And we continue to go back. We continue to have business meetings there. And it's just one of those things. So we really do, we really do enjoy it. But there's memories, there's ambiance. Last time in March, when we were overlooking the lake and had a nice breeze coming in, had nice beverages coming in. We had an absolutely fabulous time. Just absolutely fabulous. So,
yeah. And Lindsay puts it good here too. She had said, it depends on the person. Because like with me and her, we live on the water. I've got the bay on the other side of the trees right here. So 90% of our restaurants in this area are on the water. So to me, when people are like, oh, but I had a great view of the water, I'm like, oh, that's wonderful, but I get that at home. I want the Hangar, I want the Edison, I want those places to immerse me, because a great view doesn't do that for me, because I have that on a daily basis. And I agree, with Kathleen, I agree with Brian. There are places in Disney that need a freshen up. Not every restaurant offers a great ambiance.
No, they don't.
That place better have great food then for me to go back, is what my point was.
Listen, basically what I'm saying is we're not just being yes men as to these particular areas. And you're right. I think there are places that need a little bit extra pizzazz, a little bit of plussing, a little bit of extra magic added to it. I do think that, still I'll go if there's good food. I mean, to me, food always comes first, because that's what you're really paying for.
Yeah, that's what you're there for. You don't want to spend $120, and I think Stan from the Grand Circle podcast mentioned this. You don't want to spend $120, walk out of a restaurant still hungry.
No, and the thing is, I have done not $120 to do that. I went to Nine Dragons, and literally 15 minutes later, I'm like, oh, where can I get a churro? I mean, it was really, really good. I really walked out of there hungry. So before we get going, because we're running a little bit long, And I can't find it, but I saw this. Here we go. We'll go with what Christine says. What about Victoria and Alberts? Do you have any inclination of going to Vicky and Alberts?
I mean, it looks fantastic, and I would love to do it, but I can't touch on it because I've never even stepped foot in it.
For me, I don't know if I'd want to.
Oh, see, I do.
I do too. I really do. But talk about it's
I want the Queen's table or whatever they have,
or the chef's table.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking RFE expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really flipping expensive. And sometimes you just have to stop and say, I would like it because I am a very, very, exploratory diner. I'll try anything once. I mean, I'll try pancreas if it's done up right, type of thing. My wife, she's like, no, if I can't recognize what it is, I really don't want it.
And I just want to touch on one last thing.
Yeah.
So I see Alex commenting, he goes, some people don't have views of, the water like you do, Danny. It's refreshing to see water every day. So I'll pose it to you like this. But that's why there needs to be other places of ambiance, because someone like Chris, who is essentially landlocked.
Good point.
You don't have ocean views. You don't have water views. So for you, that's like, wow, this is great. And you have people like me who have only grown up on the water my entire life. And I'm like, yes, I've seen water. I know what a beach is. Thank you. But that's where, the different theming comes in, and they try to hit on everybody's palette, I'll call it.
Well, I mean, we all have different expectations, and I think that really is the biggest thing. And I think people, let me put it this way. Everybody's expectations when it comes to Disney are very valid. Everybody wants to get what they want out of their vacation, and I think everybody should. I think everybody has the right to either praise or complain about a particular establishment, whether or not be a dining establishment or an attraction or whatever, as long as it's done in a fair manner. What were you expecting versus what did you research? Did it miss the mark? All these things are good for people to know, because while we say that these places we do like, I also look about it. Danny and I have different viewpoints about different eateries. Danny and I have different viewpoints when it comes to different hotels and attractions and so on, because he and I have different ways of vacationing. And that's one of those things. So our perception is different. My perception is very much different, and along the lines of like when I go with just my wife versus my kids. So I got more than one perception, because my traveling party does vary from trip to trip. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest with you, it's going to vary again when you and I do a trip, just the two of us, without our significant others or families.
I agree.
It's going to be different. So I don't know, but I think that is going to end it for today. Danny, what did you say?
I say take us away.
All righty. You heard the show, and we hope you want more. Well, feel free to join us over at our social media platforms. Instagram and our Facebook page can be found at Behind the Ears Podcast. Our webpage is behindtheearspodcast.net, and our email is behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com. And our Twitter handle is @BehindTheEarsPC. And come and join the conversation about all things Disney over at the WDW community page. Don't forget to rate and review the show over at iTunes or Apple Podcasts, as it really helps us get the word out about the show. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the show on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or the Podbean app. Also, you can listen to us on Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and via Alexa and Google Home.
With that being said, everybody, thank you for tuning into another episode of Behind the Ears Podcast. I am Uncle Danny. That was Mr. Chris. You can catch us live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:45 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and or YouTube. You can also download any of our podcasts on any place that catches a podcast, iTunes. But I don't know any other ones. That's the only one I listen to. But I'm sure there's plenty more. Trisha would kill me if I didn't mention it. Please join the WDW community Facebook page. We have 4,000 members strong and growing. Coming up in a little over 1 week, May 18th, which is Saturday, we will be doing our 12-hour marathon show to raise money for Give Kids the World. People, it is for the children, not for us. It's for the children. So we're going to be taking donations that will go directly to Give Kids the World. We will be doing an auction. We will have hopefully a specialty t-shirt if that can come through like we have the last few years, with a big check presentation at the Indie Disney Meet. Yeah, I think that's about it. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Happy Grandma's Day to all the grandmas out there. And for all those single dads, happy dad mom anniversary. I know there's got to be a technical term for it, but dads raising their kids, it's a day for you as well. With that being said, I hope you all have a safe and wonderful weekend. Once again, I'm Uncle Danny. Tuck your kids in tight, wear your seatbelts, and kiss that mama on her cheek. We will see you on Tuesday.
And I'm Mr. Chris. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We had an absolutely huge blast talking with you guys. We love the conversation from those of you who are watching us on YouTube or watching us on Facebook. It is absolutely awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, we're running kind of late. And thank you for staying with us all this time. Until we meet again, we hope you have an absolutely magical day. Take care.